There is a psychological phenomenon that explains why some of the kindest people we know can suddenly turn dangerous. It's called the Lucifer Effect. And what makes it truly haunting is one simple, devastating fact. It can happen to anyone. We've been raised to believe that only villains do damage, but the reality is much more unsettling. You don't have to be a monster to cause damage. You just have to be human, placed in the wrong situation. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly why this can happen to almost anyone, and how a good person slowly crosses a line they never thought they would. In 1971, a group of college students volunteered for a psychology study at Stanford University. They were screened beforehand, no criminal history, no signs of aggression, no psychological disorders. By every measure, they were normal people. Some were randomly assigned the role of prisoners. Others became guards. The experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks. It was stopped after 6 days. That's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is how fast it happened. Within less than a week, the guards had begun to humiliate, degrade, and psychologically torture their fellow students. Not because they were ordered to, not because they were threatened, but because the situation gave them permission. And here is the part. That should make you uncomfortable. When the guards were interviewed afterward, most of them said the same thing. I don't know what happened to me. Not, I was always like this. Not, I wanted to hurt them. Just a quiet, confused, I don't know what happened to me. These were not monsters. They were students, sons and daughters, people with friends, families, and values, people who just days earlier would have described themselves as kind. This is what psychologist Philip Zimbardo later described as the Lucifer Effect. The moment a good person crosses the line, not in one dramatic leap, but in small, almost invisible steps. This isn't limited to psychology experiments. It happens in offices, in families, in friendships, in relationships, quietly, in ordinary situations, to ordinary people, people who never see it coming. Usually, when we hear stories like this, we look for the monster in the room. We've been told a dangerous lie that you can recognize a bad person just by looking at them. We wait for the villain to reveal themselves with a grand, evil gesture, while the real danger could be hiding behind any face, even the ones you trust the most. And if you're honest, you've already seen a smaller version of this. Maybe not extreme, but in a moment where something didn't feel right and you justified it anyway. And in that moment, it didn't feel wrong. It felt reasonable. But what if the signs are not what we think they are? What if you've been looking in the wrong direction? If you want to understand why this is so haunting, you have to stop looking for a villain and start looking for the patterns that are hiding in plain sight, including the ones you might be hiding from yourself. It's reassuring to believe that you would never do what those students did. That belief is the first crack. The guards in that experiment believed the same. They saw themselves as fair, controlled, and decent. And then, within days, they were not. The Lucifer Effect does not begin with bad intentions. It begins with certainty, the certainty that you are different, that your moral compass is fixed, but you don't transform. In a single leap, you adjust in small, reasonable steps. When the shift starts, you don't think, I'm becoming a monster. You think, they deserved it. I'm just doing my job. I have to be firm. The shift is not from good to evil. It's from clear to justified. And here's the terrifying part. You don't feel like you're changing. You feel like you're finally seeing things clearly. The moment you start explaining your behavior instead of questioning it, the transformation has already begun. Because from the inside, a fall does not feel like losing control. It feels like finally being right. No one crosses the line all at once. It starts with a moment so small, you barely notice it. A sentence you shouldn't have said, a tone that felt slightly off, a moment where something in you said, that was not right, and you ignored it, and you feel it. That small tension, that moment of, this is not who I want to be, but you push it down. That's the first step. And once you don't question it, the next step becomes easier. Psychologists call this gradual escalation. Each action resets your internal standard. What felt wrong yesterday starts to feel acceptable today. Then something even more devastating happens. You stop asking, is this right? And start thinking, this makes sense. This is where distance begins. People stop being individuals and become labels. The problem, the difficult one, the obstacle. This is dehumanization, and it does not require hatred, only distance. The terrifying part is that you don't notice when it happens. You don't decide to see someone as less human. It's a silent, unconscious shift. And because you no longer see their humanity, your behavior toward them changes completely. You become colder, more detached, more willing to cross lines you once wouldn't. And it does not feel like cruelty. It feels like necessity. You don't recognize the change by what someone does. You recognize it by how easy it becomes to explain it away. The more intelligent someone is, the better they are at justifying the things they should be questioning. And this is where it becomes toxic. Because once you can explain anything, you can excuse everything. So the real question is no longer, is this right? It becomes, can I make this make sense? And once the answer is yes, there is almost no line you won't cross. So how do you actually recognize it? Not in theory, but in the middle of a high-pressure deadline. Imagine you are leading a crucial project. Everything is on the line. And there's that one teammate, they question everything. They slow things down. And you can feel the pressure building. Watch for the first shift, language. They stop being a person with a different perspective. In your head, they become the obstacle. And in that moment, you've given yourself permission to stop listening. Then comes the second shift, justification. You exclude them. You stop informing them. And you tell yourself, I'm doing this for the project. I have to be responsible. And suddenly, it does not feel like cruelty. It feels like leadership. The final sign is the loss of discomfort. The first time you undermine them, it felt wrong. The third time, nothing. And that is the warning sign. That is easiest to miss. Not when it feels wrong, but when it stops feeling like anything at all. And that's the trap. Because the real warning sign is not a loud alarm. It's the silence that remains when you stop caring. Now you understand what makes the Lucifer effect so haunting. It can happen to anyone. And you don't have to be a bad person to do something harmful, which means the only real protection is awareness. Not once, but constantly. Because the line doesn't disappear, it just moves. One small, reasonable step at a time. The only way to stay human is to keep questioning yourself, even when you feel certain, especially when you feel certain, and to never stop paying attention to what you do and to the story you tell yourself to explain it.